Hello and welcome to a very special episode of Connected, number 533. This one is brought to you by Fitbod and Squarespace. Join us once again as we push the boundaries of how long a bit can go on for and still be considered funny. Can a podcast even have a fourth wall? I am but your humble Apple Park Prince, James Thompson, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to the Connected Quiz Champion and Grand Admiral Pickerton himself, Mr. John Voorhees. Welcome, John.
Thank you for having me. I mean, here we are again, and I've had a great year. How could I not have had a great year being the Grand Admiral? But I'm the Pickerton, and I'm also joined today by another wonderful co-host, Mr. Jason Snell, who is, in fact, the winner of the Voorheeses and the Connected Monthly Contest winner.
Yeah,
hello, Jason.
baby. Yeah, I am. I've got those. But, John, it's Pickies Day. So now after your year of lording it over us, a new champion will be crowned today.
That's true.
It's very amazing. And really, I think my favorite thing that I won this year was the Voorheeses of all of the mini games we play, because I correctly predicted everything you do this year, which is hard to do because you are a man of mystery. And yet somehow I nailed it.
Maybe you've been stalking me all year. I mean, have you been just like right around the corner?
That's why we recorded that episode in secret and didn't let you in on it. It's because we didn't want you to know I was stalking you this year. But I did it successfully, and I just asked the two of you, don't do this to me next year, okay? right? You're not going to stalk me?
Everything will change this year.
Okay. It's hard to believe it's been a whole year since we did this. I mean, our holiday special, that's what I mean. We're here every week, but I mean this particular episode.
Right.
Yeah.
And since it is our post-Christmas, pre-New Year's episode, it also means we're going to do our Triple J gift exchange that we'd like to do every year, where we give each other presents and have definitely not kept the receipts. And I believe this year, the Wheel of Fun begins with James Thompson.
Yes. So for you, Jason, in light of our recent D&D member special that we did, my present to you is a brand new Dungeon Master for running episodes of TPK over the incomparable.
Oh, who is it?
Tony gets quite tired. So
we need another one. Who is it? Who's it going to be?
Okay, so technically I got bought a copy of the 2024 Dungeon Master's Guide for my Christmas, but I will say on the record that one of my goals for the year is to start running at least a small game. So surely the best present is potential.
Okay, well, I mean, I think maybe has somebody broken this to you that not all D&D games have to be podcasts, that you could just...
I don't think that's true.
Oh, okay. All right, fine. John, I know what you want, and I got it for you. It's technically it's a Maker World gift certificate, but basically, I was thinking this 3D printed Mac Mini case that turns it into a Mac Pro, optionally with wheels. I just look at it and I think John Voorhees. I think this is the everything in your life basically needs a case that's shaped like a Mac Pro to put it in. They also make a Mac Studio version, which is laughably large, but again, not as large as the Mac Pro. And I want you to use, it is set to use skateboard bearing wheels, so you can actually get like real wheels for this thing and slide it all around. And I think you're going to love it. This is the new version 2 design. I've got the link is to Jared, who was inspired by, of course, that photo of Steve Jobs where everybody goes, "Why is there a tiny G5 on his desk?" And it was actually an external
I'm going to have
drive.
I'm going to have to disassemble my my skateboard now and turn it into put it the wheels on the case. Who doesn't want a case that makes something that's conveniently small into something that's bigger and less convenient? That's a perfect gift. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. James, I've got something for you. And this is going to take a little work on your part, I think, because you're going to have to take care of this gift and feed it and give it a good home. But I have gifted you a friendly family of monkeys. These are a little bit like monkey butlers that you can use to eat all those bananas that your app is always dropping all over the place.
Well, I mean, this sounds like you're giving me a gift that comes with extra homework, but large, likable monkeys always produce heaps of good things. So I look forward to welcoming
Heaps, yes,
into
heaps.
my home.
Yeah, you don't want too many heaps around your house. But the thing is, with friendly monkeys, you don't have to worry about them destroying your home as much. So they're just going to be there to eat the bananas, and they're well behaved. So don't worry too much about it.
And you feed the large, likable monkeys. You just feed them slop, is my understanding.
Yep. Well, John, I know how much you're into portable consoles, and I thought you could do with a bit of a change in 2025. So I have got you a Nintendo Switch 2 development kit, which unfortunately has to be kept bolted down to a desk at all time for security reasons, and it must be stored in a locked room with the blinds down. But, it's portable, kinda.
Yeah. No, it sounds like maybe Nintendo has learned a thing or two from Apple with developer kits. It sounds like, very good. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I'll strap it onto my desk and hopefully get one that I can unbolt within a few more months in 2025.
Well, let's see.
So, I have something for you, Jason, too.
All right.
I listened to the Pro Show on Upgrade not long ago and heard about your Miu Mini Plus, which is a great selection. It's a wonderful little retro handheld. But I want you to experience the other end of the spectrum. So I have gotten you a 1X Player X1, which is an 11-inch portable, quote, portable game console. Basically, it's an 11-inch Windows tablet with controllers strapped to the side.
It's described as a gaming handheld, which again, I would say, quote, handheld.
Yes.
I mean,
it's the biggest handheld on the market that I've seen.
Yeah, your hands go on the controllers that are attached to the giant tablet that's in the middle.
Yes.
Well, this is the other way to go, John. I'm glad you just didn't get me like a PC with a CRT or something and said just, in a backpack. It's portable.
Right, exactly. No, this is totally portable. You've got a laptop CPU in there and everything. Yeah. I mean, it's shrunk down to about as portable as Windows can get, I guess.
Finally, I can get Windows games and play them.
Yep.
And my Steam, all those things I search for on Steam that are only available. Actually, I used to buy Windows games on Steam and use Boot Camp, but I haven't done that for a long time. So this will be great. I appreciate it. By the way, you mentioned Upgrade Plus. I thank you for mentioning that. Is it weird that I'm a co-host on Connected and Upgrade, and I have two different tech podcasts that are like on different days of the week? Is that weird or is that okay? What do you think?
It's quite a different audience, I think.
All right,
for both of them.
I mean,
so
that's true. We talk about those handhelds here, so that's the important thing.
Yeah, exactly.
We're the silly ones.
All right, John, I have gotten you the very best Vision Pro accessory yet. Now, as you both know,
I think you've got this for me.
This is
for John.
I'm sorry, James. Well, it's the J's. There's so many J. Actually, the secret is I also got them for John because we, as Vision Pro experts, need these things. And as we know for this year, the Vision Pro. This is the year of the Vision Pro. And by that, I mean the year that Apple released the Vision Pro, and then very gradually over the course of the year, Apple via third parties and also third parties tried to adjust all the things that were wrong with the original Vision Pro because it was designed in a fantastical white room by people who didn't have any connection to reality. And so we got that, like the different head straps we've been experimenting with all year and various other mounting devices. And, I got that pillow that it's like a face pillow that attaches to your Vision Pro, and then it attaches to your face, and then you can lay face down and do the Vision Pro like you're swimming.
So comfortable.
There are so many. Well, you know me, I like to experiment with things, but I think I've got the ultimate answer, and this will work with the current Vision Pro. But I think this is also a good direction for Apple to go with future Vision OS models. And it is I sent you guys the Amazon link, the Amazon description, because those are always the best, is giant googly eyes, self-adhesive, big wiggle eyes, large sticky eyes for party decorations, refrigerator door, lawns, car, DIY craft projects, 50 millimeters. It's only a matter of time before it also says Vision Pro right in that description.
Only a matter of time.
I think these are good because on the existing unit, they just cover up the weird, creepy CG eyes. And I think, Tim, we just saved you about $500 on each unit going forward. Just don't have that screen. Just ship. I mean, you could ship them optionally in the box, like they used to have the Apple stickers. Just have the googly eye stickers. that you can apply
Yeah.
to the front if you want to.
These
Makes
even
sense.
these come in 150 millimeters too.
Oh, yeah, you
could
can
go
pick.
really big.
You can if you want to. I really like James. First off, has been made clear every week on this show, we should really be designing products at Apple. We all know it. All three of us should just Apple call us. We're available. But I would say that the idea of replacing the Apple stickers in the box, which they got rid of, right? Well, bring them back, but don't
Right.
bring back Apple stickers. Bring back googly eyes. Put googly eyes in every Apple product so you can stick. Like maybe the Apple Watch
Put
only
them
has
wherever you
one.
want.
So it's just like a one eye on the Apple Watch.
A
but it's
little
just like-
Cyclops Ultra.
Yeah, but we've saved a lot of money. If Apple is busy decontenting the Vision Pro in order to get it down in price, googly eyes on the front, boom.
Done.
There you go.
Done.
Solved. Problem
All right.
solved.
Well, our favorite thing of the year, which is the Pickies, is coming up, but I've been told legally that I must throw it to one of the suits at Relay now to tell you about our first sponsor.
This episode of Connected is made possible by Fitbod. When you want to change your fitness level, it can be hard to know where to start. That's why I'm pleased to let you know that Fitbod is an easy and affordable way to build a fitness plan that's just for you. Everyone's fitness path is different, which is why Fitbod uses data to make sure they customize things exactly to suit you. Adapting as you improve, each workout will be challenging, pushing you to make the progress you want. Superior results are achieved when a workout program is tailored to your unique body experience, environment, and goals, which are all stored in your Fitbod gym profile. Fitbod tracks your muscle recovery so you can avoid burnout and keep up your momentum. And it builds your best possible workout by combining AI with exercise science. They've analyzed billions of data points that have been fine-tuned by certified personal trainers. And you can be sure you're learning new movements the right way thanks to more than 1,000 demonstration videos. Muscles improve when working in concert with the entire muscular system, so overworking some muscles while underworking others can negatively impact your results. That's why Fitbod tracks muscle fatigue and recovery to design a well-balanced workout routine, which also means you're never going to get bored, as the app mixes up your workouts with new exercises, rep schemes, supersets, and circuits. The Fitbod app is easy to use. You can stay informed with progress tracking charts, weekly reports, and sharing cards, which lets you keep track of your achievements and personal best and then share them with friends and family. And it integrates with your Apple Watch, Wear OS smartwatch, and apps like Strava, Fitbit, and Apple Health. What I like about Fitbod is that it does continue to mix things up for me. So the workouts continue to improve, they get tougher, it's more challenging, it's pushing me to where I want to go, and I appreciate that it's looking out for me. Personalized training of this quality can be expensive, but Fitbod is just $12.99 a month or $79.99 a year. But you can get 25% off your membership by signing up at fitbod.me/connected. So go now and get your customized fitness plan at fitbod.me/connected. And you'll get 25% off your membership. Our thanks to Fitbod for their support of the show.
Okay, Pickies time. This is our annual contest where we do our picks for what will happen next year. And get ready. Here it comes. Please stand on one leg for the reading of the classic Pickies charter used when we made the picks for 2024.
Just for 2024? That sounds a bit like foreshadowing to me.
It is, of course it is. Everybody knows this, but that's fine. Here we go. There are two types of Pickies, annual Pickies and WWDC Pickies. No other Pickie shall ever be introduced.
The winner of the annual Pickies is named Grand Admiral Pickerton and retains the title for a full year.
The WWDC Pickies winner is named the Apple Park Prince, that's me, and retains the title until the next WWDC is held.
Order for the annual Pickies and WWDC Pickies is based on the winner of the previous year.
The winner goes second. The losers flip a coin to determine who goes first and who goes third. Jason is the only person allowed to flip a coin and cannot use any apps to do so. James is the only person who is allowed to roll dice. I may use any other method of generating random numbers I want.
For a pick to earn any points, everything written down in the prediction document for that specific pick must come true.
Because James tried to introduce irrational numbers and crash the entire Pickies, there are now no half points or fractional points awarded in any round except when grading in the event of a tie.
3 points are awarded for any pick deemed correct in the first round.
2 points are awarded for any pick deemed correct in the second round.
1 point will be awarded for correct picks in the lightning round.
Any pick that comes true in the first half of the year is worth double.
Your total percentage, expressed as a fraction of wrong answers, will be multiplied by 5 and deducted from your final score. All calculations are performed using IEEE 754 floating point numbers, not integers. Nan is not considered a number.
That's math stuff, I don't understand it. The two other hosts must agree that at least one of your picks is not obvious, one is pretty cool, and one is quite sneaky.
Every pick has to be related to Apple or the tech industry.
No picking things that the picker of the pick could make come true by themselves or by inducing others, including taking a job at Apple or learning how to hypnotize people by becoming a magician.
The chat room is saying their right leg is getting tired. Switch legs. Everybody can switch legs right now.
Everybody
right now.
switch. We have more rules to go.
No picking things that are not provably true or false. Whether or not you can prove a negative is best left for the AIs, and maybe not even them.
No altering the prediction document after the show is over. We all remember what happened in 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, and even last week.
All ties will be broken by the following simple procedure. Each lightning round pick deemed incorrect will receive a coin flip. If the coin is tails, the incorrect pick will be regraded by the host who is not in a tie.
The regrading shall be judged on the following criteria. 1. Passion, up to half a point. 2. Precision, up to a third of a point. 3. Wild card, up to a quarter of a point.
After all regrading of wrong answers is completed, the scores will be recalculated and the winner will be proclaimed.
In the case of a three-way tie, a three-sided die will be rolled. The winner of a coin flip between the two current non-winners of the Pickies will choose the numbers for all hosts, and the host whose number is rolled on the three-sided die will be eliminated. The tiebreaker will then proceed.
After scoring is complete, each host must place the official Pickies refrigerator magnets in the proper configuration on their refrigerator for the next year. Winner at the center of the door, second place in the lower left corner, third place in the lower right corner. Fail to provide evidence of a properly secured magnet will result in immediate disqualification.
All right, people, we're almost finished here. The winner of each competition will be given access to the Relay.fm CMS and will have to post the show until the winner is revealed. The loser of the competition will take turns doing the editing each week.
So now it's time to score the 2024 Pickies.
All right, let's do it. I feel good about my chances this year.
I
year.
feel medium good. So yes, first round, this is 3 points, potentially a 6.
Yes.
Mine was that Apple allows a third-party app store on the iPhone somewhere in the world.
Correct.
And this is correct, because it happened in Europe in the first half of the year.
6 points.
6 whole points.
Yep. And I said the Vision Pro will be released in the first calendar quarter of 2024, which was also correct.
Yes. Yeah, so you get 6 points.
Yep.
And I said Apple Watch Ultra 2 will be on sale in the US on March 1st, 2024, which is a really weird pick, but I think we were wondering about Massimo.
Yeah, I think it was legal challenges.
But I get 6 points because that happened. Here's a pro tip, by the way, from me and John. We made picks that were built into the first half of the year, so we were really shooting for those 6 points.
We were.
Okay, so the score after one round, everybody's got 6 points. Time for round 2. James, what do you have?
Yep, the only way is down. My second round pick was that the Vision Pro finally goes on sale in Scotland. And I was correct. I got 2 points, and I missed getting 4 points by, I think, 10 days, as it came out on the 12th of July in the UK.
Oh, wow. So I predicted that 2024 will see the return of a March Apple event, which it did not. I was incorrect. Unfortunately, I think the March event may be a thing of the past, thanks to doing stuff online.
Yeah, I think so. I think it may not happen. I predicted a new Apple Pencil Pro is introduced. Now, when I originally scored this, I thought I forgot that that actually is what the name is called. I couldn't believe that I correctly predicted that it would be Apple Pencil Pro because I thought I don't know. I thought that was a dumb name, but it was correct.
Jason, but Jason, is a new Apple Pencil Pro, is that really a revision of the Apple Pencil Pro? You in fact predicted that there would be an Apple Pencil Pro and then another new one. Isn't that what you're...
I don't know about that. 4 points happened in May. It happened in May. After round 2, I have 10. James has 8. John has 6. But it's all to play for because we're now in the lightning round.
Yeah, so round 1, I said a Mac would be introduced with a brand new form factor, and thankfully, the Mac Mini was indeed a brand new form factor. 1 point for me.
Yeah, for sure.
I predicted that personal automations would come to the Mac on Mac OS, and I was incorrect. It's not like they need those things for Apple Intelligence or anything. They'll get around to it eventually.
It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. I predicted that the M3 MacBook Air would be introduced, the M2 MacBook Air would be discontinued, and the M1 MacBook Air would remain. Well, almost got it, but the M2 MacBook Air is also around. They are selling, and the M1 Air is at Walmart. We could have argued about whether that counts, but it doesn't matter because they kept the M2 Air around. So I am also wrong.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. For round 2, I said an original Apple TV Plus show or movie is released in 3D. And I could argue this one, since we had that little submarine movie in 3D and things, but, that's not the spirit of my pick. And it was on the Apple TV app, but was not really Apple TV Plus, so I'm going to say incorrect.
Yeah, and I think we were thinking it would be just a 3D, show. Not an immersive necessarily, but just like a 3D version of Shrinking or something, because you want to see...
Yeah, like a
Jason
3D
Segel
conversion of something that was coming out in 2D.
Exactly. Yeah. But they didn't do it.
Nope.
It's too bad.
Oh, well, I also had a TV pick, which was that tvOS's Quad Box would expand to work with more kinds of content. And it did not.
John, you got my hopes up for this one.
I know.
It is. I was just the other day, I was watching, there was a game on a streaming service. I don't think it was the Netflix Christmas. I think it was like something that was on Paramount Plus or something, and I had that moment, and I do this with soccer too, where they've got games on Peacock, and then they've got some game that's on like USA Network, and I had that same thought, which is like, all these things are happening at once. I want to put them in a multi-view, but they're in different apps, and tvOS just won't do it. It's very frustrating.
Separate apps don't work.
Well, you know what they say. It's like age-old wisdom. Never bank on a tvOS update adding anything. Speaking of disappointment, I predicted a live sporting event would be transmitted immersively to Vision Pro users, and it didn't happen. I don't know why it didn't happen. I wish they would experiment with that, but it didn't happen. So no points in that round.
Yeah, we pick these things that seem so obvious. These must happen, but no. Round 3. So I said that an iPad would be introduced with a bigger screen than we've seen before, and I was entirely incorrect.
Yeah, I wish.
Yeah, for sure. I predicted that the Vision Pro is reintroduced with an event that includes an appearance with Eddie Q, who will not dance. I was thinking that there would be some sort of event in January where they would kind of recap everything that was coming with the Vision Pro, but that did not happen. We got some press releases, and that was about it.
Yeah. Who knows what they're doing over there? I don't know. I think, although I would prefer an event where Eddie Q does dance.
I hold out hope. I just go back to that GIF all the time. It's my favorite.
I actually had my first meeting with Eddie Q this year in February for the Apple Sports app of all things.
Oh, right. That's Eddie's baby.
Yeah. And he just flew in from the Super Bowl, and boy, were his arms tired. I predicted new Magic Keyboard for iPad with function key row, and it happened, guys. It happened in the first half of the year. So +2 for me. They did it. They did it. They did it. Dreams rarely come true, but the dreams came true right there.
For round 4, I predicted that Apple would ship some form of generative AI, e.g. text or image generation, and they did ship some form of generative AI. That is true. 1 point.
I continued my trend of incorrect predictions with the prediction that the iPad Pro would get a second USB-C compatible port, and it did not.
And I predicted that a new Apple AI assistant was unveiled, but it would just still be called Siri, which we debated this before the show. It's kind of right. They unveiled this whole promise of doing new things with an AI enhanced version of Siri.
Right.
They haven't shipped it. I think we decided that unveiled was the key word here because they unveiled it all right. They sure did that.
They promised it, much in the same way that many things have been promised. But we've yet to actually experience it. For round 5, I said that Apple would... I always go on the round 5, I pick something completely wild. Apple introduces some form of new display technology, folding mini LED holographic, beaming directly into your brain. No, they did not.
A little early on that one, James. a little bit early. So my prediction revolves around the fact that Apple likes to pick a new best friend in the gaming world every couple of years. And I predicted that in 2024, that would be Death Stranding, and that Death Stranding or Hideo Kojima would appear in more than one Apple event in 2024, which did not happen. In fact, the game came out at the end of January and was never mentioned again in another event, I don't think.
It was a bold pick, John. It was a bold pick.
Yeah.
I picked Apple would make another sports rights related deal. Also did not happen. Apple not going beyond their MLS deal. Now, our friend of the show, ZM Knox, says, does tandem OLED count as a new display technology? What do you think?
I mean, we've never seen the likes of it before. 2 sandwiched OLED screens. I mean, I don't know that it's actually going to make any difference to the score.
It literally doesn't make any... I'm going to give it to you.
I will take it, even if it means I don't actually win.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you should take it. Take it and take your 2 points, is it, or 1 point? Right, because that was
1 point because that was
second half of the year. All right, that's okay. Good for you. Good for you. I'm so benevolent because I'm going to win in giving you extra points. All right, so after the lightning round, the scores are 14 for me, 11 for James, 6 for John. John, rough year for you.
I know.
That's like one of my scores.
Picking from the middle position is rough. Well, as people know, though, this is not how the Pickies are scored. The Pickies are scored by deducting your total percentage expressed as a fraction of wrong answers multiplied by 5 and deducted from your final score. And when we do that, because that gets...
The iPad, we're being told, was May. So
just
give me another point.
Okay,
there we
John.
go. Still makes no difference. 12 points to James.
It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, final scores. I have 3 out of 7 wrong, which is a deduction of 0.428571429 times 5. So I deduct 2.1428571445 for a total of 11.8571428 points. John, 6 out of 7 wrong. Wow.
Well.
Ouch. 8 point. So that's 0.857142857 times 5. So we'll deduct 4.28571428 for a total of 1.714287115. Now, James, what did you end up getting wrong if we give you that one as correct?
I think, let me see.
It gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 2 out of 7. So that's going to give you a different deduction, which is exciting.
5 maths, which everyone loves.
It is. Dice by PCalc is not doing the math because it's a dice app. You've ruined your branding. So we're going to deduct that. So you get 12 minus 1.428571443, which gives you a total of 10.57142857, which means that I win by the skin of my teeth because I have 11.857142885 and you have 10.57142857, which means I win by a total of... Oh, this is good. This is why we do this. 1.28571428.
Basically.
Yeah, 1.3 points. So that's tight, because that was good, because you get the you didn't just get 2 points there. You also got an additional reduction in your deduction, which is why we do the deductions. That's why, there.
And I know people really love this
Makes it
level of
exciting.
complexity.
That's why we're here. That's why we're here. Well, not for long, but for this one. John, will you do the honors?
I will. Jason, congratulations. You are the Grand Admiral Pickerton.
Woohoo!
Please place his magnet at the center of the refrigerator door.
Yes, please.
Second place is James. He goes in the lower left corner. And for me, you could probably put me on the floor or underneath the fridge.
It's the bronze medal.
But technically, I'd appreciate it if you would place him in the lower right-hand corner.
Just slightly lower than James in the lower left corner, because it's the bronze medal spot. If you're using the official Pickies app or the Clockwork Pickies trophy, you will see the magnets moving automatically in just a moment. So just watch. Keep watching.
Hit the button, yes. Hit the button, James, and that'll make it all start going.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to Jason for his big comeback, and congratulations to me for not being in last place again, which seems like the entirety of this competition. Will I have learned this year to be more strategic in my picks? Let's find out.
And now here are some editorially independent words from our sponsor.
I'd love some free web hosting.
James, be quiet. We've been talking about this.
This episode of Connected is made possible by Squarespace, the all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs to stand out and succeed online. So whether you're just starting out or maybe you're managing a growing brand, you can stand out with a beautiful website, engage with your audience, and sell anything: products, services, and even the content you create. Squarespace has everything you need all in one place, all on your terms. So let's talk about content for a minute. Squarespace has some great tools for paywalled content. So you can let users see some of it for free. And then if they sign up and pay, they can have access to, say, your full video library. And those video library pages look really awesome on Squarespace. And people can pay in a bunch of different ways. It's easy for you to get onboarded quickly, and customers get a bunch of options. So you can support Klarna, ACH direct debit, Apple Pay, and depending on where you're located, Afterpay and ClearPay as well. And the Squarespace analytics let you know how those pages are performing. You can get insights on your top sources for traffic, understand how your reach is growing, track sales metrics, and learn to focus new engagement. And because Squarespace is all in one, those analytics are built in. You're not going elsewhere to see how your site is doing. It's all built in and really easy to manage with Squarespace. And that's why I love building on Squarespace. All these tools know about each other. They're designed to work together. And it gives you everything you need to build a really impactful site for your business or your brand. So head on over to squarespace.com and sign up for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, you're going to go to squarespace.com/connected to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain name. That's squarespace.com/connected. And when you decide to sign up, you'll get 10% off your first purchase and show your support for this, your favorite podcast. Our thanks to Squarespace for their support of Connected and all of Relay.
All right, here we are. It is time for the 2025 picks for the Pickies. Please remain in the position of your choosing for the reading of the all-new revised Picky Charter Ultra, as most recently amended during our Constitutional Convention on Jason Voorhees Day, the first Friday the 13th of the year, which was September the 13th, 2024.
Now, we've had some feedback over the many years that we've been doing this about the convoluted nature of our rules. And we've decided to do what no other podcast has the courage to do.
That's right, James. Instead of heaping even more complexity on top of a clearly failing system, we are actually going to take things away. So, with no further delay, here is the new statement of streamlined rules.
Every year we play 2 games and predict what will happen at WWDC and throughout the year.
We pick in reverse order of the previous contest's final standings.
Everyone picks 5 things that they think will happen.
The person with the most right things wins.
In the case of a tie, there are multiple winners. We, here, do not let mere chance determine success.
And there shall be no disputes over scoring because we are all just inherently honorable people.
And that's it. Just the art of prediction in its purest form. No silly titles to award, no trophies needed.
And certainly no ridiculous sports paraphernalia to inflate our egos. What sort of people need that? And put all those magnets in the bin.
So okay, please pause to remove your magnets from the refrigerator.
Put them in the bin.
Exactly.
All
exactly.
right.
So we're going to get started, and I'm going to go first. I'm going to predict for my first pick that a revision or new model of the Apple Watch will be introduced that supports a news sensor.
Ooh. Oh.
My pick is a new iPhone SE is introduced that supports Apple Intelligence.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's a more bold pick, I think, than John's. John's pick was is bold. Your pick is actually kind of like, I mean, is Apple ever going to release anything that doesn't support Apple Intelligence at this point?
Probably Apple TVs.
All right. I predict Apple will introduce, I'm going to do it. It's going to punch me in the face next year. A new home appliance with a screen.
Like a blender.
There, I said it. I'm not saying what the appliance is. If Apple ships a refrigerator with a screen, I get the pick. Okay.
Did you see that LG just did a microwave oven with a 27-inch screen? It was just announced like 2 days ago.
I love it. I love it. You know what? Somebody should make a microwave oven or a regular oven. What they should do is they should put a screen on the door and a camera on the inside so that the door shows you what's going on inside. It would be great. Why haven't they thought of that?
Isn't that exactly what this does? I don't know. All right. We're moving into round 2.
Okay.
And I'm going to kind of play off of James a little bit here with my own iPhone SE prediction, which is that it will have a 48 megapixel camera sensor.
Ooh.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Mine is, and I would like to say that I wrote this in the document a few days ago, there will be a brand new redesigned mouse. I'm not going to say it's going to have microphones or do any AI nonsense.
Talk to you.
Because I think that is silly.
It's nonsense.
But, I think we're finally going to get away from the shall we say, very memeable mouse.
The worst mouse you can buy anywhere? Is that what we're saying?
I don't know.
I like it as a mouse. I just don't like the charger.
I just feel like you always have to be prepared for disappointment when you're trying to predict new Apple input devices.
But I would say if they do completely redesign the mouse and it still has a port on the bottom, I still get the point.
Okay. All right. I am going to go out on a limb and say that Apple will finally announce a third-party LLM partner for Apple Intelligence that is not OpenAI. But it won't actually be available until at least the last quarter of 2025. So basically, get excited when they announce it, probably at WWDC, and then you'll finally get your Google or Anthropic or whatever, like at the end of 2025, or they'll say it's coming next year. I feel like that's the scenario.
Yeah,
but they need to announce
I think that's a good pick.
Announce it, and then it won't be available until at least the last quarter.
Not graded, but who do you think it will be?
I wonder if it will be multiple. I wonder if they will throw Google and Anthropic in there
I think
together.
Those are the two most likely. Yeah.
But because I don't think they're going to do Meta. And do they really want to do like X? I don't know.
Yeah, they're not going to do whatever that
Grok. Yeah. So I that's my guess. I mean, Google is the obvious one, but then again, they also keep talking about Google. It's like it'd be really nice if we could add Google, and they never do. So I don't know. That's why I think this is worth a pick.
All right. Well, round 3 time, and I'm doing a negative pick, which is that Apple will not announce new Vision Pro hardware before the next annual Pickies.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I agree.
Safe. I mean, does this count if they bring out a new head strap?
No, I'm talking about the device itself, the computing device.
Head straps are by very definition software.
Right. Okay.
You wear them.
My pick is that Apple gets into the Wi-Fi router business again.
What?
Somehow AirPort returned. And
this is where James starts smoking something during his picks.
I mean, like I think there's a potential. I'm not saying that we're going to get AirPort Expresses again, but I think we might get something.
Okay. Sure. I love it. I love the moxie there. Okay. I'm going to go out on a limb too. Apple will receive a record fine from the European Commission.
Yeah.
About what?
Yeah.
I don't know, but it'll be something. It's coming.
Yeah, that's a very good first
Yeah,
half
I mean,
pick too.
There's about like 100 different ways that could
So
happen
many
as well,
possibilities.
so-
Yeah, exactly.
All right, it's time for round 4, and for this, I am predicting that a new Apple TV will be introduced, so new hardware that includes Apple Intelligence features.
I think this is worse than my AirPort pick, but
It probably is. This is where I started like grasping at straws.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, my thought is it'll be something where you can maybe use the Siri commands with the remote and get suggestions for shows to watch or something like that.
Yeah.
And that they'll use one of the newer, you know, A series chips that can support Apple Intelligence. So maybe, I don't know. I mean, there are rumors that we're getting a new Apple TV. Whether it'll go that high end with the chipset, I don't know.
we'll see. Mine, there's a possibility here that Apple introduces an M series chip in a configuration better than an Ultra. And I just mean
Whoa.
that, like, where the Ultra is 4. I can't remember how
So,
many
like,
there are. No,
So what is this? This is like an M4 Extreme in the Mac Pro or something like that?
yeah, basically. If they're going to keep that product around, they need to do something with it to make it distinct from like all the small boxes they sell, which are just as good.
Well, I appreciate that in this round, you two guys are dreaming big. I am going to be very small and say
Okay.
the only new feature on the MacBook Air beyond an M4 processor, which it will catch up to the M4 line, will be an upgraded webcam. So basically, oh boy, there's a new MacBook Air. How is it different? Well, the webcam's better, and that's it.
I think this is actually an optimistic pick.
Well, they built that new webcam that's in the MacBook Pro that is better, that is improved in quality, and the one that's in the MacBook Air isn't that good. So I'm thinking
Yeah.
basically that they'll put that MacBook Pro webcam in the MacBook Air too.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. One clarification though, would you consider it a feature if Apple bumps the base amount of memory, for instance?
No, I mean that's just specs, right? I think they
Right.
would have to move
Okay,
a port or
that's what I
change a
would think,
port
too.
or add a port or something else that's actually like when
Hardware.
we're writing our reviews of the MacBook Air that we would actually call out as a change beyond just configuration. Yeah, but I feel like we're in a really. I wrote my Macworld predictions piece yesterday, so I was able to sync that up with this a little bit. And one of the things that just struck me is I think it's actually going to be a really boring year for Apple hardware because they've recently reset a whole bunch of stuff and are so focused on Apple Intelligence that I feel like it's going to be a real lull of a hardware year. And I thought, well, what is even going to change? But making that MacBook Air webcam good is a thing they could do. So maybe that's it.
All right. Well, it is time for our 5th and final round. And I am going to predict that the M5 will separate the CPU and GPU from the GPU memory architecture, which will be explained in the context of improving Apple Intelligence and gaming. Because this has been, I guess, rumored. And apparently the current architecture does have some limitations because of the way it's designed to share that memory that is not ideal for Apple Intelligence. So I'm going with they're separating the two and they're going to use it as an opportunity to say now Apple Intelligence is, 5 times faster and gaming is 10 times better. So something like that.
Wow.
And maybe this is an example of me not learning to be strategic, but I think Apple will announce a partnership with a third-party publisher, e.g. Sony, Steam, to help bring games to the Vision Pro. Now, I will say this could mean a lot of things. This could mean putting Steam VR on the Vision Pro. I don't think that'll happen. But it could also mean something with controller support for using Sony's controllers.
Yeah.
So,
I have been wondering with all the stories about the Sony controllers potentially being added to Vision OS, I started to wonder, is there a bigger picture deal here, which is Sony either like, because as we all know, because the good people at Mac Stories who push everything to its limit, John, you can like project from a PlayStation into Vision Pro.
Yes, with an NDI HDMI.
Right, but it's hard, right? And I thought
it's hard.
So one thing could be, would Sony do and Apple do something where they like made a link where you could just use the Vision Pro as a display for the PS5, and it would just be kind of like built into the software. That would be an interesting thing. And the other thing I thought was, if PSVR 2 is not that successful, which it sounds like it isn't, because they're going to unbundle these controllers. I wonder, is there something there where they could be like, you don't even need to buy a PSVR if you've got a Vision Pro, which is way more expensive. But anyway, you could play like PSVR stuff on.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. And I think that having using basically the technology that allows you to stream your screen from a Mac to the Vision Pro makes a lot of sense, because that's already there. It's built into the system already.
Right.
And simply streaming from the internet is not a good solution, because the Vision Pro only has Wi-Fi 5, and that's not a good gaming experience if you're using like Xbox Game Pass,
right.
cloud gaming or whatever.
I think we've gone from this is the worst pick to this is a guarantee.
Well, I don't know about that, but I love it. I love this. I think this is reading the tea leaves perfectly well, where it's we have this report, but then you're like, well, but what if it was more?
Why? Yeah.
I like that. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make a naming pick. I'm going to predict something about that Apple home appliance with a screen. So I'm doubling down on that. And I've decided I'm racking my brains to think, what is that product going to be called? And I've got a thing I think it will be called, but I'm going to make my pick a little bit broader, which is that name in whole or in part will be HomePod. And let me explain myself here. I actually think that what they may do is say, this is the new HomePod. And especially given that they're going to probably have like a speaker dock for it, so it could take the place of the bigger HomePod, that the bigger HomePod will either be renamed or go away, or will be called a previous generation of HomePod. It's possible that it will be called HomePod something, but I think HomePod is actually the perfect name for this thing. So I'm just going to go all in on that. Whatever that home appliance with the screen is, HomePod will be in the name. It might be the name.
I'm really hoping that Apple's home appliance is called the Apple refrigerator.
Okay. All right.
I'm going with Vision Pod.
It would be weird to call a refrigerator HomePod, but they could do it. HomePod fridge.
HomePod cold.
I mean, I also think that they should make Meta Ray-Ban style things and just call them AirPod specs. But that's just me. Not a prediction, because they're not going to do it, because they're too slow, and they're not going to do that product for like 2 years, and it's too late. And it's so frustrating. All right. Well, those are the picks.
Yeah, that's our very simple and straightforward, which should be admired and adopted by all podcasts.
Really should
rules. Next week is our traditional year in review episode. This time, we're going to be rating every single year of Apple's existence based on the famous Voorhees scale.
Yes.
Yes.
Just in case this is the first episode of Connected you've ever heard, and oh boy, I really hope it is, the scale goes like this. At the bottom, you have worst I hate you, then awful plus, then just below average, then just above average, then believe max, and at the very top, dream. You should find the canonical illustration by listener Kate linked in the show notes.
It's very important that we use the Voorhees scale at all times.
And yes, the triple threat of the Triple J will return in 2025 when you most expect it. I would just like to say thanks again to John. I know we do this every week, but it really is a pleasure.
Well, and I'd like to say thank you to Jason, too.
And thanks to you both, but especially thanks to James, because we do this in order. I don't know why. And thanks to all of you out there for listening to this classic, regular, normal, but special, but very normal episode of Connected. And until next time, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone.